Okay, let's wait for someone to show up. Meanwhile, let's dig up some of it. Get that up here. And that's what this is all about. Hold still, you. There, okay. Nobody yet. Up, John Mayer showed up. Okay. So, howdy. Okay, get a chat going here, hopefully. My do is figure out how to do these little announcements because I never have figured that out yet. If everyone wants to get a film, I want to share some thoughts on last night's discovery. I'm still wondering about that because they're still kind of dumbing down on the stupid on it. Let's see. Whoops, dang it! I want to do the whole thing. Not that. At least it appears the fishing expedition is over with. It looks that way because it's like get these on there. So.
And you said you got people already showing up?
Well, the one guy's shown up so far, John Mayer.
Well, hell, you might as well.
No, now it's down to 0.
How we ended up getting
well, yeah, because it's going to be up, down, now showing nobody. Okay. Well, it's going to be archived there, so let's go into it here now. We got the 2 days down here at Motel 6 and getting ready to get out. And the thing is, the elevator's been kind of acting up throughout the weekend. Well, it finally conked up completely. And we're up on the 3rd floor. And I'm not getting around very well as it is. Stuff is really not getting around very well at all for various reasons, which I won't go into because none of your damn business. But basically, it's well, the neck injury and also the leg wounds are complicating things up, partially because of being in the car, having able to tend to them properly. But it's an adventure getting her into the bathroom. Never mind down 3 flights of stairs. Forget it. That ain't happening. So basically, they figured the elevator might be fixed around midnight, or at least the guy will be here with a part around midnight. So they comped us tonight for the room. So we're gonna. Unfortunately, everything's down to the truck. I ain't hauling that back up 3 flights of stairs. So we got the two computers. She has to turn her computer. I don't know. The only reason I'm bringing it in anymore is just because I keep it out of the truck. But let's see. Discovery. What to say about Discovery? Oh, someone just showed up. Okay. Who we got here? Not showing up on there. And they're still kind of dumbing down on the dumb here, I think. I don't know. It's kind of, it's really kind of stupid stuff being well acted, which makes it tough to really review because yeah, it's just because you get these old like last week the stuff between Mama Burnham and Mikey. I was like, it was like really heartfelt, emotional stuff, but you break it down and it makes no sense. It's stupid. So you got some really first class actors, but they are not given first class material by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't know, it's an interesting take on this week. Again, we're talking to Discovery, and I really don't care. So, spoiler alert right now. Yeah, writers are half-wits. That's actors are talented. Writers are half-wits. The writers are idiots. Okay, and I don't think they quite nailed what happened to Pike well, also notice that apparently the pronunciation for Kalis in this universe is Kalish. It's not just because the actors in the full Klingon makeup were had marbles in their mouth and couldn't pronounce it. No, it really is pronounced Kalish. Go figure. Yeah. So I think maybe that's the 25% difference there. Yeah. Because I can also tell you in Klingonese, Kales and Kalish would be spelled completely differently. Okay. But I've studied a little Klingon. Okay. But, it wasn't. I don't think the way they described it in. Well, let me look that up here because make sure I don't have doing something wrong here. There we go. Let's find the description of. I mean, I like that they grade up his hair a lot in that scene, but yeah, here we are. What's this problem, Commodore? Inspection tour of a cadet vessel, old Class J starship. One of the baffle plates ruptured. Delta rays. He went in, bringing all those kids out that were still alive. Just wanted him, gentlemen, be prepared. So I don't know if a fire explosion, contagious strokes. I don't know. I think part of the problem is It's kind of like with Chris Chibnall over on Doctor Who. They brought in a bunch of writers with no appreciable experience in sci-fi. Some no experience at all in science fiction. Certainly no experience with Doctor Who. And these guys no experience with Star Trek whatsoever. And God bless anybody, find anybody with any genre experience amongst that entire writing staff outside of Kurtzman. Naming Kurtzman's a suspect. Because I worked on Xena. Yeah, and apparently the episodes he worked on were some of the worst episodes. So that's not really a high watermark for this bunch. But like Michelle Paradise, the new showrunner, it's like she worked on a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. Okay, yeah, it's horror though. It's not really sci-fi, so yeah. And Chibnall's, I would trust the writing staff on EastEnders more than I would trust Chibnall's much right now. But and a lot of Gilmore Girls and stuff. It's like, so yeah, they'll do the real touching emotional stuff. Yeah, like come on, but try and string together a coherent plot, and the science is like, what the hell? And the whole thing, they're really tripling down on the time crystal thing. It's like, and again, trying to act like, oh yeah, time crystals. They had those. No, they didn't really. And let's be fair. I mean, even by Marvel comic standards, time crystal sounds lame. Okay. Nothing cool about that name at all. It's So the fact they're just doubling down on it. Oh, time crystals. Yes, we got lots of time crystals. We got an entire monastery sect right on, guys. That's why it's there, because we got time crystals. It's like, I mean, it's interesting. They gave, I think this is their way of, giving Pike a big note of nobility, and that even knowing his future is going to be, a shriveled up Applehead kid doll, in a motorized wheelchair, which they still didn't quite, I don't know, but he still is going to take the thing because he swore an oath and he's going to protect all life in the Federation, whatever, and just because this features, who knows when it's going to happen, he's still going to do it. So, okay, does Kurtzman know that Vulcans do not have red blood? Oh, they still had the green blood, but again, it's like a mantra on this entire bloody show. They didn't think it through because you don't think what does because this is something they thought this through on the original series. and trying to figure out what would Spock look like. Because, but originally it was going to be looking like red, and the pointy ears were always there. But when they did makeup tests with the reddish makeup, it looked like it was a blackface. So they no, that's out. Okay, it just didn't look good at all. So they start thinking, different colors there, and the green blood was probably there. Okay, well, green blood. What would a green blood person look like? Because if humans are kind of pinkish because they got red blood. So green blood would make it look kind of jaundiced and yellow. And that's why they came up with, in fact, they had to develop a specific color for Leonard Nimoy, for his Vulcan makeup. And it's LN1. It's registered with the makeup people out in Hollywood. LN1. That's shade. That's what they developed specifically for Leonard Nimoy. That's the standard color for all Vulcans, which they've completely ignored with change. I guess that's probably part of the 25% difference. We'll just make them look like human. Just skip the yellow stuff and go with that. And that's here's your 25%. But you're doing a canonical Star Trek series. Vulcans are about the color of their chicken soup. So let's see. What do you think of the little surprise they dropped in the trailer for the next? I don't know. Which surprise part? The fact they fired photon torpedoes out of the forward section of the primary hull on the Enterprise? Yeah, so much money they get. Some little wide range. I think it's part of a mandate now. Well, we're going to get a totally new experience, bringing people who don't know anything about it and get a fresh start. Well, the problem is you get people who don't know what the hell they're doing. Oh yeah, the bridge set. It looked like a redress of the Enterprise or the Discovery Bridge. Frankly, I got it down. I'll look at it again later, but it's like practical men, the practical histories. None of these guys have had any practical history. They're writers, and that's all they've ever known, really. Because that's the thing I keep bringing up time and time again with the original series. At least half the production staff and some of the cast were in the military and saw combat, or at least you're trained in a time of war where they actually saw picked up a weapon or not. But yeah, I mean Jimmy Doohan was a legitimate war hero, and those are the Canadian military. Okay, I think he took out 9 Germans by himself on D-Day, and then got shot by one of his own guys. Apparently, came around the corner. He was like, oh, sorry, And the old thing of the one bullet that hit him would have hit him in the heart. Was stopped by his cigarette case. So it's like smoking saved his life in that case. But yeah, that's the one time he got wounded was by friendly fire. So no, Mr. Clarkson, Americans are not the sole purveyors of friendly fire. The Canadians do it too. But I mean, Roddenberry flew B-17 in the Pacific. Matt Jeffries was a flight engineer in B-17 in Europe. Robert Justman was in the Navy. I don't know when, but exactly. But given his age, probably either World War II or Korea. Gene Kuhn was in the Marines. And in the cast, like I said, Jimmy Doohan and both Leonard Nimoy and D. Kelly were both in the Army. I think they both made films for the Army, but okay, Enterprise Bridge is a step in the right direction, but still, no, it's still a freaking dance hall. And you had number 1 at her place at the helm, so I'll take a better look at that later. But I think the Enterprise nacelles have spouted spikes on the front. There may have been one little change there. But yeah, they're building towards the climax here. And we'll see if they made the little arrogant step of assuming they're getting a new season and doing a cliffhanger, because that's one thing that annoys me. And something I told. In fact, my kid's sister has a script written. She's going to try shopping around at some point, but it's not a bad thing. But I also, advice: don't assume you're getting a sequel. Wrap the story up, because she kind of left it open-ended at the end. No, write an ending. You want to leave things dangling for a sequel, yeah, but the story you got, end it. Get it to a conclusion. Wrap it up. Have a big shootout, but okay. Then leave things in place for further if they want to go further. But if they don't want to go further, that was the thing with why the first Star Wars movie worked. because it didn't assume, yeah, he had this big, long, sprawling story here, and yeah, and the notes go back, for roughly what we saw in the prequels, and then you got the other stuff. That some of the stuff that was going to be, in 8 and 9 got shoved into 4, or well, yeah, because you got to assume you're only going to get one shot at this to make sure. If you get another one, yeah, then you can start sprawling out and getting more of your story in. But like in Lucas's original 9-episode plan, which yeah, is gonna. I don't know what sequence he really had in mind. I think it was going to be 4, 5, 6, then go back 1, 2, and 3, and then finish it with 7, 8, 9. But the original plan was there wasn't going to be a second Death Star until like episode 9. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those were really going to be Luke building up the Jedi Academy and also Leia was not originally his sister. There was a sister out there, but it was going to be and that's what Yoda's talking about. And no, there's another Skywalker out there. It ain't Leia. Leia was somebody told her, and there was a legitimate love triangle between Luke, Han, and Leia. But is because by the time they started getting rid of her Jedi, Lucas was getting so burned out on the whole thing and fighting the studio every step of the way. Even when essentially he's paying for him out of his own pocket by that point. And it's like, forget it. I'm getting, and the technology wasn't there to really do it the way he wanted. So he just kind of shortchanged things. Just forget just make Leia the sister, and we're bringing the Death Star now, and just kill the Emperor and this one, wrap it up at 6. Because that's what is the thing with an editor. You think, okay, where can we trim here and just get this over? We cut to the chase. And that's how we got Leia. Suddenly, Leia's my sister. And then, of course, they always said, oh my God, I hugged my sister. Oh! Yeah. I skipped that one. Yes, the wife is back there. She's watching soaps on her tablet. Oh, no, we playing the Family Guy game? Yeah. Yeah. Nah, whatever. Okay. I already got 2 thumbs up. Okay. I really should start hitting up random on how to do the one of my, I forget where did that. I think it looks like a response on a Trek here. It's but struggle is useless or like I said, resistance is futile. Just a little too on the nose. So, what do we got here? Get that out of the way. I'm gonna figure out how to get. Okay. Try and get Streamlabs going up here. Yeah, I think I'm one of those. The prequels are kind of really judged unfairly because they are written at the same level as the original trilogy. It's just the thing is we're no longer 10, 12 years old. We're at time. And watch watch the prequels and go right into the first in the original Star Wars. They go right in together. Okay. Especially if you throw in Rogue One right in the middle. Although then you got the issue of a few things don't quite line up, but it's not cynically, but also the way Vader's just chucking guys left and right, and then by the time he gets to the fight with Yoda with Obi-Wan, it's like it's kind of draggy. But yeah, I think Rob Burnett put it, but they may not have been great movies. They were good, very good Star Wars, though. It's kind of like Insurrection. As far as a Star Trek story goes, Insurrection was actually very good. The debate is whether and how good a movie it was. And I still think it's an okay movie. Motel 6 ain't bad. Aside from the elevator, we've actually had a pretty good time down here. We always liked this place. And Billy Jack. I don't know. Well, Billy Jack was a kind of a buzz cut anyway, and I do not own a Riz hat. Okay, and I'm definitely past any kind of point where I'm going to take this foot and put it up that side of your head, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Yes, I've seen Billy Jack. I love that movie. It's a good movie. Got a lot of good points on it. But let's see. Yeah, the prequels do get a bad rap, I think. But yeah, I think it's, and I've made the point, and it's been agreed with a lot of times where panel discussions, were they really the bad? It's like, look, you got to ask yourself, how old were you when you saw Star Wars originally, and when was the last time you watched it? Unbiased, just try, because that's the difference. When you go back and you watch it, and just really watch it, now then put aside the uh, the nostalgia factor of when, oh, I remember this, but I was like, yeah, you're no longer 12, are you? Okay, you're a creaky old grown ass adult. It's kind of the realization that Mark Hamill, at the time of Force Awakens, was the same age Alec Guinness was when he first played Obi-Wan. Think about that for a bit, okay? Yeah, you are lucky to know who Billy Jack is. Yeah. It's also good that the Billy Jack on DVD is really in the $5 bin if you can find it all nowadays. But oh, something that I had to kind of be reminded of that the version of 110 Soldier in that's not the original version. It was somewhere the gal a little bit before that. It was very similar, because that's why Coven's version was was actually a cover, I think. But then came across going through, following little YouTube rabbit holes down there. Oh, that one because when you hear on the radio, that's the original. Because I remember little phrasings, in the music, in the singing. I actually did tried writing a little short, little story based on One Ten Soldier. It was kind of a sci-fi thing. It was a weird story. I don't know where I still have it around, but like the end of this, I just was kind of big bloody battle. Let's see the scene. They just a little big thing, peace on earth. Like, that's it. All right. Yeah, that's a movie that gets rerun a lot because it's probably cheaper now for anybody to run it. So, yeah, for $50 you can run it for a year. Yeah. How would you fix Star Wars? Okay. Well, first off, I would have just totally just tossed Last Jedi out the airlock and the next movie would have been Episode 7. No, no, let's see. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, no, 7. No, the next one, which episode, just reused Episode 8. No, okay, we're going back to the game plan, and we're going to try this again now. Unfortunately, since Carrie's no longer, the big thing would have been if Carrie Fisher were still alive, we'd just reshoot a lot of it. But apparently they're going to be reusing that a lot of extra footage of unused scenes from Force Awakens, which is how they're going to do Carrie, with going on with Episode 9. But okay, some just updated. But I would have done a Highlander 2 numbers. No, you're out. This one doesn't count. Forget it. We blew a lot of money on a movie that sucks. We're sorry. We'll try again. But there was just so much in lame jokes and just like the and stuff that really has no business being in Star Wars because it's like this is Earth culture you're injecting here. Like, oh wait, you're waiting. It's like, why would a Star Wars character even know about that sort of thing? Huh? Okay, trying to get Streamlabs up going here. Yeah, there. but there's also, man, we'll see what they're doing with episode 9 here to see if they have righted the ship. Because, oops. As for all of J.J. Abrams' faults, he is a major league Star Wars fanboy. And his two Star Trek movies really were his Star Wars audition films, audition reel. So you really got to look at it like that. Just so you know, the chat right now because I'm messing with Streamlabs. Trying to get that going here. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Go. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now, and see how they deal with it, because apparently they are essentially retconning Last Jedi out of existence or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I'm not sure what they're doing here, but okay. And if I could possibly get back to, there we go, so I can see what's going on. All right. YouTube is YouTube is the dollar bin. Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised how many movies I've found on YouTube. Enterprise, okay. Enterprise has been a little unfairly maligned lately. Actually, Enterprise is looking a lot better nowadays after JJ and Discovery. Same with Voyager too. So this show actually was pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah. If only Les Moonves hadn't, badgered Rick Berman into retirement, because he had some ideas of how to get the and Moonves wouldn't hear it. The man has got a serious bug up his ass about sci-fi and Star Trek. Just like, screw it. I'm retired. I'm old. I'm too old for this shit. And also, okay, my charge that battery. Yeah. But I mean, I was one of those that tuned out for the Zindi war arc originally because no, that's it. You're introduced a major war, and it's no. We're supposed to pretend they just ignored it. But I went back and watched, and they did the right thing actually in the fact that what it could have been a major war, and it turned out to be really nothing. It resolved everything, so it just amounted to one attack, and they held off everything else that would have happened, and that would be essentially not mentioned much at all going forward. Yeah. Yeah, I got quoted in Details magazine. Yes, Brandon Bragg is the Antichrist. I have pictures, but and I've had to walk that back several times. But also, I've also seen interviews with Braga since then. A little further explanation of where he came from and it's not like Braga was completely ignorant of Star Trek. He because he's about the same age I am. The thing is, he didn't watch Star. He was into Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, which, let's be fair, is a little higher on the food chain for a little bit than Star Trek. Star Trek is entry level sci-fi. Seriously, it's the McDonald's of sci-fi. It'll get you in the door, and you can get decent stuff out there. But Rendezvous with Rama, it ain't okay. And generally, Twilight Zone and Outer Limits was a little higher on the scale of hard sci-fi usually when they did a sci-fi story. Yeah, and Braga has learned a lot. I mean, he started on Next Gen as an intern, and he's actually one of those guys that he could have wound up saying, "You only got one job reference on your resume here. All you done is Star Trek." It's like he's managed to branch out a little bit, so now he can say, okay, I worked on 24, and he's got a few other things under his belt. So
Yeah, can you imagine if you were in charge of Twilight Zone?
I would definitely trust Braga a lot more with Twilight. One, he was a fan of the Twilight Zone anyway, so. But I think his sensibility, because that's what he brought into in the next gen release. He would bring the weirder stuff from Outer Limits and Twilight Zone that wouldn't necessarily occur to like Roddenberry. But I think it's kind of like imagine if Rod Serling was writing for Star Trek. That's the kind of thing kind of weird off the wall stuff that you bring in. And you had and the thing is, you also had other people around him, like Ron Moore and other people who were hardcore Star Trek fans, to kind of rein in the more destructive qualities that the Braga would go off on. I love the SS Enterprise, the NX-01 refit, and CBS. You want to make CBS All Access a big hit? Do season 5 of Enterprise. Work around this. I mean, sure, Bakula, I'm sure he'd be up for it if you work around his NCIS New Orleans schedule. But you get those sets back up. You bring in people. That's what you want to do. Once you get everything back under one roof after the merger, which is happening. I'm with Team Redstone. Yes, let's get this back into Paramount with you because Paramount has some institutional knowledge of how to make Star Trek. But once they get work around the schedules, get everyone back, and just an abbreviated like 10, 12 episode thing. Do season 5 of Enterprise, and let's get that that refit. And also that as a double bonus. And not only would you be able to explain and get built up back up to the Romulan War, bring in experienced Star Trek writers and producers and art department people, and bridge that gap up to the Romulan War, and then maybe do another miniseries on the Romulan War. But it would also effectively retcon These Are the Voyages out of existence. And everyone would be happy on that, from Berman and Braga on down, because everyone was, it's like, we're sorry. It was intended as a Valentine for this, but it turned into a slap in the face. We're sorry about that. We didn't. No one liked that one. And it raises so many problems. It's like there's no, it doesn't even work within the context of the episode of the Pegasus. Because you go back and watch that, and it's where during this whole thing of Riker having to deal with his old captain and this cloaking, when did he have time to go to the holodeck and play around with Archer and company in a badly written holodeck program? There's no segment in there where he would even do that. So the approach of trying to work with an existing story has problems anyway. They should have done it where, frankly, when on the thing where he's on the eve of getting his first command, maybe as a lead up to to a Nemesis, really. That would have been a perfect idea because you have no timeline to hem you in. You're not trying to thread the needle between star dates. And that way, when they get the Nemesis, okay, because they're starting out the party where they're getting married and he's got command of the Titan. Okay. And we have a story that leads up to that. And that would work. But no. They decided to get cute. Reportedly, the Picard show is in a bit of trouble. And they're forcing them to change things because, again, the stuff they want to market, nobody wants to buy. All the licensees are saying, we couldn't give this shit away. Okay? You can think all you want about, it's prime thing. The fans ain't buying it, and they ain't going to buy this. So they make it, change it. You've gone well beyond the 25%. And guess what? Too far. You want to reel that back in. And as Doomcock has said, 25 something that is 25% different from another thing is not that thing. Yeah, I really don't. It sounds like Blake 7, frankly. With Picard as Blake, I guess. I don't know. Or it's an over the hill gang or whatever. What the hell kind of thing is that? It's basically Patrick Stewart needs pizza money. Okay, that's what it amounts to. He's pushing 80 years old and he wants to be an action hero again. He needs to go back to the Royal Shakespeare Company, do his production of King Lear, you know. Because that's usually that's the point. That's the usual, point of the Shakespearean career. Is like, have you done Lear yet? I'm not old enough for you. Well, you're old enough for now. Okay. I remember when I was, in England with the Air Force, and at the NCO club, again, really an all ranks club. It was on RF Woodbridge. Was they only had one thing? So it was technically all ranks, but generally it's the NCO club because you didn't see many officers in there. But I was sitting there, and the TV over the bar on one of the BBC channels was running a production of King Lear, and Laurence Olivier was playing Lear. And even though I couldn't hear, the sound was turned down. That was only you just mesmerized by just watching Olivier doing this thing. I think he was still alive at that point, so it wasn't like it was like wow. He was just kicking it, and again, without even able to hear a bloody word. Yeah, there's some point. People tend to, when some people just hit a certain age where it's like, okay, here's where it catches up. 2066 Spock categorized a weaponry used in the Earth Roman wars of atomic nature and fairly primitive. Yeah, primitive spaceships or primitive atomic weapons that allowed for no quarter, no them. Actually, if you're quoting from Memory Alpha, I got a big bone to pick with Memory Alpha because they're trying, they're not acknowledging different timelines at this point, and they're trying to cram everything together, and the dates are all screwed up, and you got everything mishmashed together. So I'm waiting for the time when you finally categorically say, okay, this is now it is now official. This is a separate timeline. Can we please separate out the references here? Because they got Spock's birth date all wrong, and they're trying to cram in all this stuff. Especially, I like science. When has a Vulcan ever said liking anything? Like is an emotional state, okay? Yeah, I think it's probably why I'm still confident about the Concord's working. Because no, Memory Alpha is not the be all end all here. Not really should be doing. Well, I occasionally still poke my head in the concordance files to like do things here and there, but I think I did do something. I forget what, but I did a little something here. But we got 13 people apparently in here. We're gonna find out who they are because the participants only showing me as participants. So I don't know what's going on. But let me see what I'm. Yeah, I was still poking a few times just to get some dates here and there, but okay. Donations to add some widgets here. Yeah, let's add that. Add that on there. Credit subscriber deal, donation ticker. Nah, I don't know what that. That's annoying. Okay. Ah, add that. Yes, there we go. And yes, donation ticker. Yeah, go and do that. That should be enough for now. Like I said, I'm gonna have to bug Mecca about how to work this thing. And gotta switch that back so I can see what's going on. Okay. Oh, but now getting back to Discovery here. Let's see. I mean, it's always kind of fun when you got the scenes with Spock and Spock being snarky with with Michael. Because anytime someone's snarky with Michael, it's fun. Just because he needs to be slapped up a few times, you know, knocked down a few pegs. I still don't think he's really nailed Spock though. He's just playing it really kind of flat, and that's not really Spock. Because Nimoy did have some nuance on that. Well, the one I think that really kind of nailed that delivery was Tim Russ as Tuvok, because he was essentially doing Nimoy, and he did a very, very good job of it. Because he pretty much had it down. Yeah, it's not worth it. Not just because of the abysmal quality of the writing half the time, but also again, Midnight's Edge. And I think I played. I was just playing a hunch on mine. They documented pretty well why it's a. It can't be. I think it's I'm not so sure anymore that it's bad robot having a backdoor into it. I think a lot of it is just that they don't want anybody else being able to have a claim on the property. We're getting back total rights to the animated series because you got to roll back to back to '73. That was not produced by Paramount. It was distributed by Paramount Television, but Filmation produced that show, and that's the prevailing theory is that that's why it was non-canon for a while. It was put on the shelf because they could not legally use any of that because it was owned by Filmation, and they would have to pay Filmation a bunch of money. So while at that point in time, and Filmation was in the process of shutting down, or at least scaling back. And when they finally were dispersing all, getting rid of all their licensed properties, Star Trek was one of them. And then figure, okay, basically start. What probably what is Star Trek? Paramount, the DVD sets that have come out of Filmation Productions, they're on their own label of Filmation. They have their own label. Animated series, Star Trek animated series is under CBS Home Video. So essentially, they had to buy back. I think they're trying to avoid any kind of anything from that happening ever again. And so anybody else who wants to do a Star Trek series, there's not just licensed. Like, no, you will have to make sure this is a totally different program, and distinctly from no claim at all what's really of doing. Yeah, I think I've seen some thumbnails or links to that. The Star Trek Farragut stuff. I haven't actually watched it though. I did a voice for one guy doing animated Star Trek. I did a grumpy old admiral. And I saw that one finally came up, but nothing ever came of that. Yeah, Anson, Anson and Ethan Peck, they're good actors, and again, Ethan Peck has been a little surprising as Spock, but I think he still needs to work, and he also needs some good material to work from, and he needs to shave the damn beard and get a haircut, okay? Because I want to talk about haircuts, but no. The hip Spock work is like he's been on that ship too damn long to keep going on like this. He can't still be like he's on leave. Okay, it's time to lose the beard, get back in uniform. Maybe next episode they'll finally do that. Let's see. This thing finally going up here. Dashboard, that. Live. Trying to get the Streamlabs thing going here. I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah, that. Don't need that. Night mode, video mode. Yes, go live. And we'll label the same thing here. Live. I just want to get the Streamlabs thing going because no, it doesn't, and they knew that at the time actually because it was pointed out, they just went with the bad math, and you can finagle it a bit to have the referring to the refit version. He actually said it was 20 years old, but which, as far as naval ships turn, that is nothing. We've got ships in the Navy that are 50, 70 years old. We got World War II battleships running around. Okay? Well, they're multi mothball, but they're still there, and I don't think they're decommissioned. They're in, like I said, they're dry docked and mothballed right now. But if need be, they can pull the corks out of the cannons and put them back into service. And, within probably a few days. Yeah, we've got ships that are they're just now retiring the Enterprise. Forgot, they started scrapping the Enterprise a few years ago, and that ship was pushing 50, or 50 years old. Like I said, you can fudge it some, because when people tend to round things up to like 20, 30, it's like actually it's 18.5. Nah, shut up, Spock. Yeah, that was an acknowledged error on their part, but it was there's a logic behind it, and they didn't want to confuse the general audience. But they just say it's an old ship, because it was closer to like 40 years old at that point. But it wasn't done out of total ignorance, so I'll give them a pass on that one for the most part. Yeah, I know they're yeah, about 4 years. It takes a while to build with those big ships, and usually one of the bigger ships. Oh yeah, I don't think it's the first. It's not. It's the same class as the Gerald Ford. I think one of their high up classes ships, but it's not a prototype because the because TVN 65 or 65. It's like a nuclear powered Kitty Hawk class. But because of that, because ship classes are very a little more complicated than a lot of folks want to go into. It's not just what it looks like, because frankly most mainline carriers look alike to the untrained eye, and you can have like 5 different carriers lined up. They all look alike, but there are 5 different classes of carrier. So that's why kind of my justification for the Constellation and ships of the lower registry numbers being different starship classes, but still major starships. Let's get this other one here. Where's the video? I'm going to assume I've actually got a video. Uh, there's a camera. Okay. Playing with the new technology is always fun. What's this? Not sure what that is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, they're calling CVS, I think it's CVX, is what they're calling them. Probably a lot of stealth technology built into it, like doesn't pick up very well on the radar. Because like the last Enterprise, they had a little Star Trek display on board of Top Gun, as to be believed, or or maybe I know it was Top Gun, or I know it was Hunt for October. Like, that was set on the Enterprise, but I think the call sign for the Enterprise is Starbase One. So I know it is kind of sad though they had to scrap the Enterprise, but the thing is, the way that ship was built, that's the only way you could get that reactor out of there because the ship was pretty much built around the like 8 reactors. Yeah, well, the thing is, it was the Ranger because the Enterprise was at sea at the time. Otherwise, it would have been the Enterprise. But you notice the lights on the conning on the tower were off because otherwise it was shown the number on there. No, if they could have been, they would have. But the scheduling was such that they were at sea at the time of maneuvers. So, but the Ranger was in. So okay, well, it's stand in for that. Yeah, well, they actually when they did a refit when they were replacing the reactors, they tried to tear the and also because they're talking nuclear reactors, it means probably a good chunk of that ship has been irradiated pretty well. That no, you can't turn to a museum. What's kind of sad is that the World War II carrier was just scrapped, and then there was a move back then to turn that ship into a memorial because it was the most decorated ship in the war. Spartan Jeremy Hill, decorations just like the sailors did, and they painted on the big wall panel, I guess, on the tower, and they saved that. It's posted on a post somewhere, where the ship was based. But it's also